Trust can be a fragile thing, particularly in relationships. Recognizing deception is not always straightforward, especially when our loved ones are involved. Sometimes it takes a keen understanding of certain behaviors to reveal the truth. This video will offer you 4 concrete signs that your girlfriend may not be entirely honest with you. Number 1. Inconsistent stories or accounts. One of the most notable signs that someone might not be truthful to you is the prevalence of inconsistent stories or accounts. This manifests in various ways, which requires one to be attentive in conversation, focused enough to spot discrepancies in the information shared over time. Inconsistent stories or accounts are often a result of failure to keep track of one's lies. Dishonest people have a hard time keeping their lies straight, leading to inconsistencies within their narrative. For instance, your girlfriend might tell you a story today about hanging out with a friend, but a week later the details have changed, or the friend has become someone else. Often these individuals will change the facts of the story to fit their current conversation, forgetting the original details they shared in the past. This shows a fundamental inconsistency in their account of events, which could indicate dishonesty. Furthermore, the change in the narrative isn't always drastic. Sometimes the inconsistencies are minor, such as forgetting particular details or adding new facts that weren't previously mentioned. These discrepancies might seem insignificant on the surface, but they often indicate a deeper issue: the inability to consistently and truthfully recount an event. Inconsistent stories or accounts can also be showcased in tonality and delivery. Pay attention to how the story is told. When people lie, they often sound less convincing, their speech may become faster, and they may use more complex sentences. This is because when you're telling the truth, the recall process is relatively smooth. However, when you're attempting to fabricate a story, you must consciously create and organize the details, which demand more cognitive effort, causing changes in the delivery. Also noteworthy is the timing of the details. Those who are being dishonest often give too much detail too soon. This overcompensation is a cognitive effort to make the lie sound more believable. Conversely, honest people usually give a general overview initially and then fill in details as they are requested. It is critical to understand that spotting these inconsistencies requires active listening and not about being overly suspicious or paranoid. A relationship is based on trust, and it's not healthy to consistently doubt your partner. However, if you continually notice inconsistencies in the stories shared, they might warrant a conversation about honesty in your relationship. Moreover, understanding human memory is unique and far from perfect can be helpful. Sometimes people forget or mix up details, not out of deception, but simply because of the way memories are stored. However, frequent unexplainable discrepancies in narratives over time could be a cause for concern. It's about finding a balance, being attentive to your interactions, while also fostering trust and communication in your relationship. In essence, inconsistencies in stories or accounts can be a point of question regarding your girlfriend's honesty. Heightened mindfulness, coupled with respect for your relationship, can help unearth the truth and build a stronger bond. Number 2. Avoiding eye contact when telling a story. In any relationship, trust is a paramount element that binds two people together. Honesty and openness become the foundation for genuine connections, but it can get challenging when suspicion starts to creep in. For example, when you notice your partner consistently avoiding eye contact while speaking to you. Let's see why this could potentially be a red flag. Firstly, it's important to acknowledge that eye contact is a crucial part of communication. It is one way we as humans express sincerity, confidence, and understanding. When we're telling the truth, we often maintain eye contact because we believe in what we're saying and have nothing to hide. However, when a person starts avoiding eye contact, it might indicate that they are not comfortable with the conversation. This discomfort could come from various reasons. Anxiety, nervousness, or shyness are a few examples of why someone might not be open to maintaining eye contact. Yet it can also hint at deception. Therefore, to understand why your partner is not looking you in the eye while conversing, you need to pay attention to other cues. If your girlfriend is lying, she may avoid eye contact because she knows that the eyes can be a giveaway. Your partner might be conscious that maintaining eye contact would make her feel more vulnerable to being caught in the lie. She's aware that a lingering gaze may allow you to notice that something doesn't add up, or she may simply feel guilty about the deception. It's essential to note that this does not mean that avoiding eye contact explicitly indicates lying. Sometimes people find it hard to maintain eye contact due to social anxiety or other psychological factors. The key is to consider this in conjunction with other elements of verbal and nonverbal communication. For instance, if your girlfriend is not only avoiding eye contact but also stuttering, providing unclear answers, or changing the topic quickly, these can point towards a lie. Making rushed judgments solely based on lack of eye contact might lead to unnecessary misunderstandings. It is always advisable to consider all the factors and give room for possible explanations. Understanding the root of your girlfriend's inconsistent eye contact is paramount and can help prevent false assumptions from causing damage to your relationship. It is also important to approach this situation with empathy and understanding, as it could simply be a personal trait or symptom of a larger issue that she may be dealing with. Eye contact can convey a universe of emotions, thoughts, and attitudes. Hence, it's an essential ingredient in the communication recipe. A keen sense of observation can help you discern the truth from a lie, but always remember to consider other factors before jumping to conclusions. Number 3. Unusual defensiveness during conversations. Unusual defensiveness during conversations is a common sign that a person may not be entirely truthful. It's essential to pay attention to how your partner responds to your questions or comments to decipher if they're possibly bending the truth. To understand this, let us first define what is meant by unusual defensiveness. Essentially, it would mean an overreaction or an overly protective response to a conversation or a straightforward question. Let's say you casually ask about their day or about a person they hang out with, and they instantly become defensive, raising their guards high. This reaction could be unpredictable, a sudden shift from a calm and casual conversation to a tense one. They might start questioning your intentions or deviate from the subject, or even attack you back, accusing you of not trusting them or being too intrusive. In such a situation, the first thing you should do is stay calm, and don't let the defensiveness derail the conversation. The object of the discussion isn't to blame or instigate, but to understand the other person better. Remember, the idea here is not to confront, but communicate. If you push back or cling on to the topic, it might escalate into an argument, muddling the situation further. Take note if defensiveness becomes a pattern. Is it happening all the time? Is it related to specific areas or people in their lives? Is it accompanied by other signs such as change in their regular behavior or mood swings? Also, keep in mind, the presence of one sign doesn't necessarily mean they're lying. Use this as a cue to open up a conversation and discuss your observations and feelings objectively. However, while unusual defensiveness is a significant sign, it is also vital to recognize the context and the complexity of human emotions. Sometimes this defensiveness might have its roots in personal insecurities or experiences. For example, if your partner had a previous relationship where they felt constantly under scrutiny, or if they had issues of trust in the past, they might become defensive out of habit or fear of facing the same issues again. In such cases, your understanding, patience, and constant assurance that you're there for them can help alleviate and possibly dissipate this defensiveness. Reassure them that you are not accusing, but are there to listen and understand. Building trust and reinforcing the safety of your relationship will encourage honesty and open communication. Remember, every person and relationship is unique. Understanding your partner's cues and behaviors will help you navigate through these situations more effectively. If unusual defensiveness continues to be a pattern, it might be a good idea to sit down and have an open conversation about what's causing this behavior. Caution: this article should not be used to induce paranoia or blame in relationships. It is solely to provide insight and guidance. Number 4. Suddenly becoming overly secretive. An unexpected switch towards excessive secrecy in a close relationship, such as a romantic one, can be an alarming change of behavior. If you notice that your partner suddenly becomes mysteriously secretive or protective about certain parts of their life, it should give you pause for thought. It could be minor things at first. Perhaps they are suddenly password protecting their phone and laptop, or changing the passwords that you once knew. Maybe they're avoiding specific calls when you're around, quickly minimizing screens when you walk into the room, or suddenly deleting their browsing history more frequently. These actions on their own might seem inconsequential, but when combined, they can be symptomatic of a larger issue, the possibility that they're hiding something from you. Concealment in itself might not be wrong. People are entitled to their privacy. But when the secrecy involves regular locking of screens, immediate ceasing of chats, or the evasion of details about who they've been meeting, it is a potential signal of mendacity. This is especially true if these actions are not consistent with their standard behavior. A sudden increase in privacy might be an attempt to cover up a lie. Another noticeable trait that may point towards dishonesty is if your partner starts to guard their space closely when earlier they used to share it. For example, they might start taking phone calls in a different room or even outside the house when they typically didn't mind speaking on the phone in your presence. There may be a noticeable increase in their defensive behavior when you're around their personal spaces. This sudden shift in attitude deserves attention. It's also noteworthy when your partner reduces shared information. Previously, perhaps there were regular updates on how their day went, the people they met, and activities they were involved in. There was an ease in conversation and a natural flow of information. But suddenly things change. Now there's much less information, with vague responses to your inquiries, and the conversations are trimmed down to the bare minimum. In these situations, it's imperative to keep an open mind and not jump to conclusions hastily. The increased secrecy might be due to a sensitive issue unrelated to dishonesty. It could be a surprise they're planning or a problem they're facing independently. But if you notice this behavior consistently over a period, with its secrecy intensifying, it's advisable to address the situation gently. Open, honest communication is key. Understand and explore what might be causing these changes without being confrontational. Remember, continuity is a strong indicator in determining if a story holds or if a person is masking the truth. Watch for these shifts and use them to create a more open dialogue with your partner. Hence, trust your instincts and keep communication strong to ensure a healthy relationship. Understanding these subtle changes can save you from unnecessary confusion and stress. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and until we meet again, stay tuned and stay happy.